Super Bowls doing it this way. And Skip, and I believe it does work for him. But you can't train an offensive and defensive lineman like you train a quarterback. Skip, it'd be foolish. Quarterbacks don't really do a whole lot of lifting heavy weights with their shoulders and things. So while that band and that tubing might work for Tom Brady, it's hard for me to see in that. Gronk tried it and got broken up. So I don't believe that that's the correct way to train for a lot of positions. Now, for a quarterback, you might want to give that a look. But for other positions that bang regularly, frequently, nah, don't you go out there and talk about some pliability. You're going to get your butt broke up.
So I hear what you're saying, but to me, this was more of an ad posted on the NFL free agent message board that said, come on down. We got the sun. We got the surf. We got Super Bowls. Join me in Tampa Bay. Because he's going to turn into the greatest recruiter in the history of this league over the next couple of years. He just pulled off something no one had ever pulled off, which was to assemble on the fly a super team. He brought in Gronk on the fly, AB on the fly, you know, Fournette, LaShawn McCoy, and they pulled it off. They came together. He brought them to a boil right on schedule. It was probably a year earlier than it should have happened, but it worked. And now they could have some cap issues, obviously, with Chris Godwin starting and then over to Shaq Barrett. But if somebody has to go, somebody's going to move in at a much cheaper rate. So if any free agent, any elder statesman free agent wants to go for a great ride in the sunshine with the GOAT, that he's just saying, I'm open for business here.
But you see, Skip, all that tubing, that banding, Skip, that work for a quarterback. Man, you ain't telling no offensive lineman to go out there and try to do that, no defensive lineman, no running back. Man, you gonna get your butt broken up.
Okay, but he's trying to sell his brand, which is pliability. He's trying to teach the fact that for everybody who doesn't play defensive end.
Well, if you want to do this, Skip, if this want to be your yoga or Pilates.
But this is for civilians. He's advertising.
Okay. But Skip, for me, is that I'm going to need to see some other athletes. If you let's take Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps, coach, he had him for all his life. But if he didn't work with other athletes and then get Katie Ledecky and get some of these other ones to win gold medals, I'm going to hold on. That might be just Michael Phelps doing that. But because he's trained other gold medals. So until Guerrero works with someone other than Tom Brady and we see that level of success, is it just Tom or is it really working? Or it just works for Tom.
43 years old. He played all 16. There's never even a threat that he was going to miss a game that I know of.
Skip, but you got to get somebody else. It's got to do that on someone else. Skip, medicine, there's a reason why they do trials. They just don't say give it to one person and say, okay, it works.
Okay, I got it. But Alex Guerrero is full-time with Tom Brady, so I don't think he's going to branch out and be training anybody else.
Well, but that's the thing, though, Skip. So how do, I mean, I get it. So, who's he gonna put this to the test to? Even online coaches, Skip, you got to work with me somehow.
Yeah, I'll bet you a lot of people are buying the TB12 method. And
hopes of being like Tom Brady?
Sure. Lasting as long as he lasted in his profession.
And what? Skip, if I'm sitting at a desk, why do I need to be pliable?
Well, like helps with
circulation. Got to be able to move your pencil, right?
Yeah. Have you tried it, Skip? Have you?
No, exactly. Skip lifting weights.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about.
Exactly. You up there hybrid pliability, but you in the gym lifting dumbbells and barbells.
I am.
It always, to me, looks like he's just getting a massage and working through it. That sounds great to me.
I get the lengthening of the muscles and all that, Skip, baby, but you got to,
You still got to work.
Everything ain't for everybody.
Very interesting. I will do some research, guys. Which of Skip's teams had the more impressive shorthanded win last night? Clippers or Nets? We'll dive in next.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy.
This morning, according to a report from Cleveland.com, Watt is seriously considering the Browns because they have what he wants, a title-contending roster and plenty of cap space. Shannon, are you surprised?
I think the most important thing is the last thing that Jenny mentioned, Skip, the cap space. Because I think there are better teams that are probably more situated, that are more suited to probably get him to where he wants to be. But I guess playing alongside Myles Garrett, but would do well. I mean, offensively, they can run the football with Kareem Hunt Chubb, Nick Chubb, Baker seems to be on the come.
Yep.
Defensively, hey, I can see that, Skip, but I'm surprised the Browns, because historically the Browns haven't been a great free agent destination unless they overpay. You know, they did a great job of drafting Myles Garrett, but normally teams are not just like that. Yeah, free agency, yeah, I want to go to Cleveland. But it just goes to show you what he saw last year, that he believes that this team has a chance to be special. I was thinking maybe go pair up beside his brother, but maybe he thinks offensively they're a little, defensively, yeah, they're good, but offensively they're not where they need to be. Green Bay, you thought Green Bay, Skip, Wisconsin.
Home state. Yep.
Home state. Aaron Rodgers defensively.
Yep.
So I'm surprised that he's looking at Cleveland as opposed to some of these other teams that I think, but also, Skip, fit 3-4, or because J.J. Watt is a 5 technique, which is a 3-4 defense. So that's going to be very important to him as opposed to being bumped outside and playing on a 43 defensive end.
Okay, so to your first point, money talks. It's just all about
They say money talks, but cash screams.
Yeah.
And he wants lots of it.
Screaming, they got lots of it there. They also have a couple of free agents in that defensive line. Ogunjobi is one, and Olivia Vernon's another one. So they're going to have to figure all that out.
Yeah, one of them, somebody gone.
Somebody is gone.
Both of them might be going if they get JJ, Skip.
Okay, I agree. Okay, why not? Why wouldn't he jump on the opportunity to go to Pittsburgh? Maybe he doesn't want to play in his brother's shadow. Maybe it's like because he.
It sounds good at the time. Yeah. Everybody like, I'm playing my brother, playing my brother. No, you don't.
But he's a star now, and you're a fading star.
Right.
I don't care what you say. You've been too beat up for too long.
I agree.
And yet, I did tell you your favorite website, Pro Football Focus, dropped him slowly but surely over the last 4 years, but only to 21st best defensive player last year. Well, he used to be 1 or 2.
Yes.
So, okay. But still, 21st in the league is pretty good.
Yeah, he didn't fall off a cliff.
Okay, so he still has enough left to give in a good rotation. Well, he'd be playing alongside of a guy who's pretty great, Myles Garrett, right?
So let me ask you a question, Skip. I mean, he gave you 5 sacks in 16 games last year.
Yep.
What's your expectations this year?
5 or 6, somewhere in there. But I was pleasantly surprised that he sees the Cleveland Browns as a real deal contender.
Right.
I do too. I kept telling you over the back half of the year, last 10 games, Baker Mayfield very quietly, which is not his way, but he very quietly came of age. He arrived. He played high-level quarterback for 10 straight games. I loved the way he played. He finally had something solid around him that he could trust. He had a coordinator and a play caller and a head coach he could trust who tried to do it the right way and in a way that you could depend on from week to week. And they do run the football, as you know, from it's from the Kubiak school of thinking, because he was kind of raised by Kubiak.
Yep.
Okay, so he said maybe he's sort of buying into all those progressive Baker commercials, like he's saying, hey, this kid's pretty cool. He's pretty hot.
You know, and the thing is that he's playing alongside Myles Garrett because for the longest time he didn't have. I mean, he had some of his best years when he had Jadeveon Clowney.
He did.
So now you got another guy that's going to get some of the attention, a lot more of the attention that you're going to get. So maybe he gets some more one-on-ones, and that total gets up to maybe 8.
Maybe.
Can he get 8 sacks?
He might be able to if he's just rejuvenated, change the scenery. Listen, that Houston, that's a mentally, psychologically debilitating place to play. Over the last 4 years, it's just gone down into a sinkhole.
Skip, think about this. Of their great players, none of them are going to officially retire. You look at Andre Johnson. He's one of the 5 best players. You look at J.J. Watt, one of the 5 best players. You look at D-Hop, one of the 5 best players. You look at Deshaun Watson.
Nobody's going to retire there. Something's really wrong. And it starts at the top with the McNair family. It has been going the wrong direction.
And I think we all thought J.J. Watt ain't going nowhere. J.J. Watt's going to be a Texan until perpetuity, until he says, hey, you know, I'm taking my cowboy boots and my hats and I'm going to the saloon. He was going to be a Texan. He's like, nah, I'm good.
He's good. And remember, they let him go.
Yes.
Right? And I'm sure they shopped him and couldn't get any takers. So they just said, okay, you can go.
Maybe the asking price was too high. But, Skip, because for the market to be as good as it is for him right now, it's hard to say somebody wouldn't give up at least a 4th-round pick for him.
Yep. I think he's smelling Super Bowl in Cleveland next couple of years. Okay?